Okay, hear me out. Pie is just crusty soup. And what I mean by that is literal crust with soup. And I'm gonna prove that to you today by using some of the mushroom soup I used the other day to make a mushroom pie. And I'm also gonna show you how to make a nice gluten-free crust that you can use to bake anything savory or even sweet using some whole food ingredients that are less processed than a lot of the conventional white, enriched, bleached flours that most pie crusts are made from. And there's no butter in it, so it is vegan for all of you plant-based folks. So I'm using a mix of cassava and almond flour. I'll put the exact ratios in the description, but I find that cassava flour is the closest thing that gives you that almost chewy stretchiness you get from gluten. And the almond flour is there to help give it a little bit more crunch, along with easing back on the amount of starch you have in here. So overall, starch isn't bad. It's just when you have a lot of it without fiber or fat or a good protein source, it can spike your blood sugar and you might get kind of sleepy after that. To swap the butter, you can use coconut oil, avocado oil, olive oil. Since this is going to be a savory pie, I'm just using avocado oil. But if I was making a dessert pie, I would probably go with coconut just because I like a little bit of the flavor that the coconut oil brings to the pie. Normally, pie can be very intricate. You have to work quickly. You don't want the butter to get too warm to where the pie is gonna mush into a blob. You kind of want those little chunky bits. I don't know how to fully describe it, but there's a delicate balance. With this, because we're not using the butter and we're already getting a little bit of the crunch from the almond flour, we're able to just kind of work it into a nice dough and mash it into the pie pan. Make sure you grease it first and take as long as you need to. This doesn't need to be perfect. You can scoop out bits if you mess up, but just try to get it as thin and close to the edges as possible because you don't want a super thick pie crust. I don't recommend rolling this one out. If you do, I find a slightly oiled surface and oiled rolling pan works for this dough to make sure it doesn't stick to it. Rolling pin, sorry, to make sure it doesn't stick to it. But I don't think it's necessary. I kind of like the more rugged pie style. And quick note, all my recipes here are coming from a whole food perspective. So trying not to really use these heavily processed ingredients that we find in our everyday life and trying to give you alternatives so you can start eating a little bit healthier. If you want some help with that, I have a free little guide on my website. You can check that out. It's a shopping list. It'll help give you an idea on what to look for when you go grocery shopping. It's gonna help save time, energy, less stress. And if you're buying these things in bulk instead of getting things exactly when you need it, you're probably also gonna save some money. Ideally, in the long term, it's gonna help teach you how to think. So that way your grocery trips can just be really quick. You go in, grab what you need, leave. You don't have to go in and out of every aisle trying to remember, do I need cereal? Do I need breakfast stuff? Do I need this? It's like, no, you got your carb, your protein, your fats, definitely plenty of fruits for some snacks, and you just kind of mix and match things. It gets easier with time. So again, that's free. Check website or description, but back to the recipe. So I threw the pie crust into the oven so it can bake a little bit. And here's what I was trying to say before, how I feel like all pies are just soup, like just that's it. It's just soup, but thicker. So I'm actually gonna use the mushroom soup I did in the previous video, adding that to the pie, with straining out so I get a lot more of the chunks in there, adding some peas just for a little bit more protein because I kind of just want this pie to be its own meal. And then adding in some fresh mushrooms as well, just to give it a little bit more, you know, heartiness, a little bit more chunky goodness in there. And that's gonna go back into the oven to cook. But I kid you not, like think about all the pies you've ever had in your life, whether that's apple pie, pumpkin pie, like all of them are soup. Like savory ones too, chicken pot pie, it's just soup, or like I'll say stew. That way I don't offend people who are gonna be like, it's not soup. It is. It's thicker stew. And like, look, it worked. All I did was add more protein to this recipe by throwing in some peas. Like, check this out. Like, it works. If those were apples in like a saucy stew, you'd be like, that's a damn good looking apple pie. But I mean, look at the crust. It smells good. It tastes good. It feels good. It's just like, it's not the exact same thing as traditional pie crust. But for those of you who are gluten-free, or you're just trying to, you know, clean up your diet and watch a little bit more of the processed ingredients you're eating, this is good. Like it's tasty. Food just needs to be tasty. That's it. And I know before you say anything, yes, it's a sturdy crust. Like, look at this. I can pick it up like a pizza slice, take a nice bite out of it. It works. So I'll leave you with pie as soup or stew. And if you want that little freebie I was talking about earlier to help you when you go grocery shopping, check out the description. It's on my website. I'll also send you some little tips that might help you if you're on this journey of trying to find other things to eat that aren't going to be so detrimental to your health as most of the processed food here in the United States is. So enjoy.